and welcome back to the channel. This past weekend in rugby was absolutely fascinating, but it left us with a lot to talk about, especially when it comes to cards. Let's dive right in. Across just 7 games featuring the top 12 men's teams, a staggering 18 cards were shown. 18. Now, I'm not saying every single call was wrong, but that number feels way too high to be enjoyable for anyone. Rugby is wrestling with 2 major issues right now: player safety, especially around head contact, and the need to compete with other sports for our attention. But this constant stream of cards isn't making anyone happy. South African fans were already frustrated after the Lood de Jager incident last week. And Franco Mostert's red card this weekend really sent them down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole. But it wasn't just Springbok supporters. The Mostert decision united a huge portion of the rugby community in condemnation. Even Eddie Jones weighed in, calling the card shown to his Japanese players and to Wales' Josh Adams farcical and absurd. At times, it did feel absurd. It was like officials were searching through replays for any reason to send someone off, rather than just trying to eliminate genuinely dirty play. Take Cody Taylor's yellow card. It was a bizarrely strict call in what was otherwise a clean and excellent game. What was so perplexing about the Mostert decision was how it looked at full speed. We often say slow motion makes tackles look worse, but here, the full-speed replay showed just how much was happening in a split second. Mostert wasn't charging in recklessly. He was low, his arms were wide, ready to make a legal tackle. But then you have Ethan Hooker coming in from the side, and Paolo Garpisi passing the ball at the very last moment. Mostert had fractions of a second to process all of that. In the end, the whole pile of players just plowed into him. We're now asking for the impossible. Actions like Josh Adams' clear-out, even if it didn't cause an injury, are exactly what the game wants to remove. And that's fair. We need to focus on the process, not just the outcome. It's reasonable to ask huge players not to lead with their shoulders into tackles, but it's not reasonable to send them off for bracing for impact when a 100-kilo athlete is running at them at full speed. We're asking too much of our players, and there's a serious lack of understanding from the officials. Moving on to another big topic, the New Nations Championship. You might have seen the announcements on Monday morning. It kicks off next July with a blockbuster, South Africa versus England. It seems the organizers are listening, because after this November, is there any fixture we want to see more? The tournament design has some integrity, and every team plays every team from the other hemisphere. The real win would be getting Fiji and Japan fully integrated into the Rugby Championship. So everyone truly plays everyone, but there are some initial quirks. England, Wales, and Scotland are traveling across 12 time zones for their away games, while Ireland, Italy, and France only have to deal with 4. Even if Fiji plays somewhere more central, there's still a clear imbalance there. But my main concern is that this whole thing feels like over-milking the cash cow. The 6 Nations teams will now have 12 full-intensity test matches a year. Sans our nations might have even more if you allow for 8 weeks of rest in preseason. That leaves only 30 weeks for clubs to fit in their entire domestic and European seasons. Will that work? Or will the club game continue to suffer? And what about the players? Will nations truly be at full strength for all these games? Can we trust that the classic club versus country debate won't flare up again? And from a fan's perspective, do we all have the time, money, and energy to keep filling stadiums and following our teams? How long before the novelty wears off and we raid back to the drawing board because ticket sales didn't meet the forecasts? The tournament does feel fresh, and it brings a fractured international calendar together. It could be a lot of fun, but there are so many devils hiding in the details that still need to be addressed. What do you think about all the cards and the New Nations Championship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more rugby chat.